Last time I told the tale of a Scrum team that split into two. One team continued with Scrum, the other team abandoned Scrum in favour of Kanban. If you missed the last episode, I'd encourage you to check it out. There should be a link somewhere around this video. Did Team Kanban set the world on fire? Or did it crash and burn? Hi, this is Gary. Welcome to Development That Pays. We learned a few interesting things from our 20,000 foot view of the two teams. As good forensic investigators, we probably should take a few notes. We know that Team Scrum works in 2-week sprints, and that Team Kanban works in a continuous fashion. Team Scrum has a formal sprint planning session. Team Kanban must have some process to choose items from the backlog, but at the moment we don't have any details of what they do. Team Scrum does retrospectives, and again, we're not sure if Team Kanban has anything similar. Between sprint planning and the retrospective, Team Scrum loses about half a day of development every fortnight. Now, the 2-week period doesn't mean anything to Team Kanban, so let's convert the number of days into percentages. One last piece of data to record. Team Scrum releases once every 2 weeks. Team Kanban releases about 2 to 3 times in the same period. Let's call it 2.5. I had a couple of great questions come in after the last video, both of them relating to Team Scrum. The first one was, why is your Scrum sprint length 2 weeks? The sense of the question being, why is it as long as 2 weeks? I can tell you that the team felt that they were pretty cutting edge to have a sprint as short as 2 weeks. At the time, sprints of 3 or 4 weeks were not uncommon. And any suggestion of moving to a 1-week sprint would have been strenuously resisted, because it would have meant doubling the frequency of the two things we hated most: sprint planning and packaging for release. Which leads us nicely on to the second question. Why does your Scrum team wait for 2 weeks before releasing software? This is such a great question. I say that because it's a question that would never have occurred to Team Scrum. For us, a sprint was something that started with sprint planning and ended with a release. The release was part of the very definition of Scrum as far as we were concerned. How's that for a limiting belief? Looking at the two lists, it's clear that Team Kanban is doing more work. It's also releasing more often. But is it performing as well as the evidence suggests? Alas, no photographs from the time have survived, but we've been able to piece together a couple of images from eyewitness accounts. Exhibit 1 is Team Scrum's Agile board. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Given the position of the cards, I guess we're looking at the state of the board from somewhere close to the end of a sprint. Exhibit 2 is Team Kanban's board. Wow, a bit crowded, isn't it? And if I just zoom out a bit, there. Have you ever seen anything like it? Your eyes don't deceive you. The column of cards really does go all the way down to the floor. And it's not that we've caught them on a bad day. The board looked like this pretty well continuously for at least a year. If I tell you that Team Kanban had 4 developers, you'll start to get an idea of the scale of the problem. There must be 20 cards in this column. Even if we assume that half of them are blocked, it still means that each developer is trying to work on multiple tickets at the same time. Never a good thing. What's gone wrong here? Well, Team Kanban, although they don't realize it, are missing 2 things that are essential to the success of any Agile team. Number 1, an effective transition from backlog to development. And number 2, a hard limit on work in progress. In other words, a limit to the number of things that are being worked on at any one time. With so many blocked cards on the board, it's clear that they're not doing a good job of transitioning from backlog to development. And with so many cards on the board period, it seems they're on a quest to maximize their work in progress. Team Scrum, on the other hand, are doing a good job in both these areas, not because they are focusing on them in particular. It's more that they come about as a natural consequence of the principles and practice of Scrum. If you think about a sprint planning session, an item is taken from the backlog and the team estimates its size. In other words, the time they think it'll take to complete it. There's likely to be a discussion between the product owner and the dev team. Both sides will get a better understanding of what's required and what's involved. This increases the chances of the item making it across the board without being blocked. Minimal work in progress is a natural consequence of the sprint itself. By having a maximum of 1 sprint's worth of cards on the board at any one time, the work in progress simply doesn't have the opportunity to grow. If there's a conclusion to be drawn, it's this: Scrum done well beats Kanban done badly. Which begs the question, what about Kanban done well? One of our teams is about to have its world turned upside down. I'll tell you all about that in the next episode. Talk to you then.